Today I am in North New Portland, Maine. I'm meeting with the Bernard family, and John is here, Sharon, his mom, and Katie, his sister, older sister, that's right, by 3 years. And we're going to talk about Josh, and I want to learn about Josh. So, all right, Sharon, you're first. Lucky one. Sharon, can you tell me the barbed wire story? I really thought that was funny. Can you recap that one?
Barbed wire story. Well, he was running.
Yes.
And he was in Iraq at the time, and he ended up running into Constantine wire there, and so he had to have a little surgery, and he may have said a four-letter word. And anyways, his friends gave him a hard time because he didn't swear at all.
Right.
And when he got back, the roof had ripped off the rack hit the rack.
Yes.
In his barracks, and so he was told, never swear again.
This is very surprising to everyone in his platoon, in his company.
Yes, because he didn't swear at all.
Right.
Never heard him say anything.
Right.
And so this was a shock, but it happened after he swore. And
I think that captures part of who Josh was, for sure. And John, tell me what it means when I say the word quiet witness. What does that mean?
He was somebody who he had great faith, and it was important for him to let folks know that he had this strong faith without actually beating them over the head with it.
Yep.
So he would, for instance, he had made a decision long before he joined the Corps that he wouldn't drink and he wouldn't smoke. As Sharon just said, he didn't swear.
Right.
You know, I don't think I ever heard him swear. So.
Right.
And I'm sure his friends would say the same thing.
Right.
And but now he's in the Marine Corps, and for those of us who've been in the Marine Corps, we know that those sorts of things happen a lot.
That's right.
And but so there's Josh in the midst of this, and deciding to hold his ground and not do those things without making it an issue. So, and it wasn't an issue, and his Marines, his fellow Marines,
yeah,
were very, very clear with us that the one thing they really appreciated about Josh was that he was so steadfast in his faith and the way that he lived, and yet never questioned them about the way they lived, and he never held anything against them. He never questioned them. He never
judged
them.
Yep. Wow, made judgments.
Yeah.
Katie, tell me about the stone that's on your lap right there, and why you picked that one, and why you're letting me take it from you to include in this project.
We played a lot outside.
Yeah.
It was our favorite thing to do, play with friends and family. And this rock actually comes from a spot between where Dad works and the house that we like to play in the best. It's from a little creek bed.
Yep.
And just took everybody there. And he's probably walked over this rock hundreds of times. All of us actually probably have.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of special, just from
Absolutely.
favorite place of ours, favorite little haunt.
And he was an outdoors guy who liked to hike and be outdoors.
Yes.
Yep. But the flip side, Katie, you're still on the spot here. The flip side of being outdoors is the video games of the indoors.
Yes.
So can you tell me... Actually, no, I want John. You're the Marine. Can you tell me the senior drill instructor story? I love that story.
Well, especially for anybody who was ever in the Corps and was down at Paris Island.
So listen up if you're a Marine and went through boot camp.
Listen up, because these stories don't happen very often. We can tell horror stories, but not these. This one's funny.
This is a rarity.
It's a rarity. Now, this is within the first 3 weeks. The first 2 weeks, 2 hell weeks that you go through. There was a lot of stress on these guys.
Yeah.
The senior drill instructor wanted to decompress some of these guys. So one of the ways he used to the way he used to decompress Josh in this first 3 weeks, he called him into the DI's house, and of course Josh thought he was in trouble, and so Josh snaps to attention, reports in, and the senior drill instructor says, "Take this paddle and show me how to do this." And Josh didn't even dare move his eyes to listen to the drill instructor. He was like frozen. He thought he was being set up, but he was handing him a gamer's paddle,
Yeah.
and to play a video game. And so Josh didn't know whether to take it or not, but he did take it finally. And the drill instructor wanted him to show, his senior drill instructor wanted to show him how to do something,
Yep.
overcome a certain element of the game. And so Josh finally reluctantly started to play it, but he did it at attention. And so it took a certain amount of time for the senior to finally convince him that it was okay to settle down. He wasn't going to wind up.
That's right. Like at ease, you can relax.
And he tried to put him at ease somewhat so he could play the game.
That is so funny. And you're 2 weeks into boot camp when this was happening. It was high stress. Did you say 2 weeks?
It was between the second and third week.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Unreal.
yeah.
And you're kind of breaking ranks. You're breaking the discipline. You need, because the word got out, right? That he was a gamer. And I believe that to be true, that word travels and they figured out he was such a good gamer. What was the quote? I want to be on his team
Yeah.
when there was a competition going on?
Yeah.
That is terrific. I love that story. Okay, Sharon, I want to know. Okay, so you said, was it you that said he didn't smoke or drink? He made that choice.
He made that choice.
There was an exception to that one rule.
Yes,
What did you tell him to do, Mom?
he had the stomach flu and nothing was working. Pepto, Tums, nothing was working. So he calls, what can I do, Mom? I don't want to go to, any place else. And I said, well, have some wine. So
You are the devil by saying that.
it's in the Bible.
There you go,
Wine
right?
for your stomach. So I recommended that. So he was sitting in his barracks, drinking the wine, and his friends like, oh no, we broke you.
Yes, and forever and ever they knew.
They
That's
knew.
right. Because up until that point. So I think that's a really funny story, but he just lived by his principles. That's who Josh was, right?
Yeah.
Katie, what does that mean to you? For him to make a choice like that, to live by it, not just talk, but perform. What do you think what does that, when somebody carries this stone right here up the mountains of Maine in their backpack, what do they need to be thinking about, your brother?
I don't know.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great. Yeah, you'd never find a better friend than my brother. He was just great. And, yeah. What we were saying,
Loyalty.
Just loyalty, friendship. faithfulness.
Morals, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how else would you describe him and like what you saw him interact with people?
Well, he was funny. We haven't talked about that one.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
hysterical. You'd be so angry at somebody or him.
Right.
But he'd just do something stupid to make you laugh, and it was.
You couldn't stay mad at
You
him.
couldn't stay mad.
Yeah.
Because he was the one who'd break all the tension.
Take that frown.
Take that, turn that frown upside
Turn
down. You say
upside
something really stupid, like turn that frown upside down, and he was probably the only person that could make you laugh.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, here we go. I got one for Sharon. Tell me how he got the second highest ASVAB score in the state at the time. Who was responsible for that education?
He was. He was homeschooled, and he excelled at it, and
Yep.
he just loved it, and he would just go way ahead of schedule.
Way ahead of schedule. And kind of embarrass his little sister, who might not have always had the right answers or the answer, but he did because he was so accelerated,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you went through the same thing.
Yeah, I was ahead of him, so.
So when I asked, did he meet any cute girls at school, that was a little bit awkward. Maybe a little bit awkward.
Little bit.
That is so funny.
Every day, the sister.
You guys have been remarkable. I want to thank you for the time. You guys have been terrific.